What up? Why he disappeared now? What the? All right. Maybe I'm live on the microphone already here. Just haven't been talking to you guys. You can see over the board, we're about to get kicked off with round 4. Tim Cross playing against Aykut Uzel, another of the Turkish top talent here. Haven't seen any matches from him. Not familiar with that name, but so far these Turkish players that I'm not familiar with have been playing really great. The ace hit and he chooses to split with it. Okay, I think it's a little bit pick'em. Fine play there, though, of course. Slightly technically better to bring down and try to build instead. So the 5 hit, he's going to choose to step up with the 2. Yeah, you don't want to create a 6 by playing 2018 or 13 to 11. That makes sense. So lack of options will just advance that back checker. 4, not a lot of good 6s here. I guess the hitting 2s duplicate the anchoring 2s. So 20 to 14 is a temptation for me. Just unstacking is a really strong play too. Okay, the 15. What is this? Doesn't seem to duplicate much at all. All of them very close though. Those can be tricky technical plays for sure. What else do we got here? 6-4 looks like it's just going to make. Okay, it can hit. And look at this, somehow consolidating a racing lead and just pointing out there and making the anchor is the best play. I would have been very tempted by that hit as well. That's a tough one. 2 down to block the 6s looks great, and then our last 4 should make an anchor, right? I can't believe we haven't done that yet. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can keep more contact and stay split, but not when we don't have a board yet. I think it's pretty good to make that. 4-5, we could just run, and then if for some reason we're not hit on the 10, then we have 0 checkers back, and otherwise we have 1 back, just like if we hadn't run. I used to have trouble finding plays like this, but I think that's something that I've really picked up out of Zdeněk's book, where he talks about plays like this as a free roll, or worst case, we just have the same number of checkers back. So it's a good reason to go for the running play, even though it leaves shots on the other side of the board. I guess the other safe play would probably look like 10 to 6 and 13 to 8. It makes a bunch of very large stacks, and he's going to look at this. Doesn't develop easily, doesn't solve the back checker issue. So it's becoming more intuitive to me how you find those plays, but understandable miss too. Okay, he gets pointed on there. Not the worst roll that he could have run into. Something priming probably would have been worse. This is going to be a pretty stiff position to deal with for Tim now, though, going forward. 4-1. I think we're just going to play it all from the back checker, probably. I'm wrong, apparently. Unstacking is just so important here when we have a stack of 5 or 6. Reasonable play there. 5-3. This doesn't seem to do anything too constructive. What's the best we can do with it? I'm not sure we want to relieve contact playing 21 to 13, but that looks like structurally the best. With a slight boardage advantage and down in the race, though, we're seeking contact. So how do we find that? We could think about just slotting the 5 or something like this, or a loose hit for tempo. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to avoid this, but okay. This, so XG's preferred play of coming out to the 16 and playing down looks very interesting. It's a confusing one to find. I'm surprised it favors it by so much too. But it makes sense. I mean, it fits all the themes that I was talking about. It's just a strange one that's difficult to see how it gains, making like an extra blot and all these things. Tricky play for sure. 4-1 makes the 5 point though. That's very nice. What is this? What is this roll? 4-2. We just played from the back and made the 2 point instead. Yeah, kind of better to make the best point instead, even though you leave 2 blots. But I guess he wants to be ready for this contact. So again, understandable. Okay, Aykut closing in on the race for sure. Tim's going to have to perform here to stay in this game since he's only got a single checker back and he's primed and outboarded now. I don't think covering the board's going to be enough. I expect the cubes coming for sure, and then he's got to decide if he wants to play this or not. Looks pretty bad, though. Yeah, very sizable pass. Not a lot of gammons in this, but just very hard to win when you're down in the race and stuck behind a prime, outboarded, all those things. All right. Quick start. PRs look like a little funky for one game, but both doing pretty well. That'll come down for sure. Tough decisions already. 4-1 is going to split him down. Yeah. And 6-2. Nice. Hits in the outfield. Great shot. 3-1 is going to enter, and then, yeah, I guess we can anchor in front of that stacked 6. Feels a little risky to get primed here. 6-5. I think, yeah, okay, we can use that same logic as before. This one I would have had a harder time finding, like playing to the 11 and unstacking to the 7 instead of making the super stack, but looks like they're both very strong plays. The 2, can we just play down with it now? I mean, stepping up to the 22 doesn't feel like enough. We don't want to break the anchor, so lack of options. 3-6 is just going to hit. Good return from the bar for Tim. And 1-6, this is awkward. I guess we're going to 11-5 is the first instinct, but I have to look at just relieving the 22 as well. We have too many checkers locked up behind White's structure and not enough time to deal with that. So he very much needs to move those soon. Tim's just going to safely come around the bend. And 4-5 is going to help. Now we get to run off the correct anchor, off the 24, and keep the 22. But for sure, I don't have any space on the front side of my position to do anything else. So you have to reach for a checker back there and get it moving. Not so bad to be hit now either. You just make a better anchor or something like that. What is this, 5-2? Oh, nice. 2 down makes a point. It's a handy little roll. And a 2-6. I think our back checkers are kind of okay where they're at now. So I could play 15 around and slot the 4. Yeah, this makes sense. We're going to build the board very quickly. And Tim is ready to cube. Trailing in the match. It's not enough to make too big of a difference. And it is a good cube. Okay. With no inner board points made, I'd probably be thinking waiting that I don't know how I'm going to lose my market here. But it is possible that making the 5 point would be a market loser. That's probably the case. Okay. 5-3 just stacks up the 8s. Unfortunate. 4-6 could hit. Neither player has a board yet, though. So yeah, you have to go for this. He hasn't made any structure, and you just get to, even though you have 2 blots on your board. And I think you'll find this because the 6 is so ugly otherwise. Doesn't have a nice constructive just build the board play. I guess the best you could make of it would be something like 9-5 and then 8-2. Maybe 13-7 isn't actually so bad in this kind of case, since you're not being primed in the outfield or anything like that. Midpoint's not that valuable, especially if you're hit from it when you're both stripped. Okay, he's going to keep them on the higher points instead. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he decides to do. Okay, he's going to look at the hit instead. And the thing with this play is, like, it definitely prevents your opponent from making a point with a lucky 3-1 4-2, something like this. But also, he might have trouble playing a lot of rolls from the bar. His 6s don't look great. His 5s are very bad as well. Obviously, an ace is best. But so even this 5-3, like, he gets the hit, but then where's the 3? Guess we're just slotting because neither of us, I mean, it's not terrible for Tim since neither of you had a board, but it's not bad either. It's not bad for Aykut either. Like he's getting into the blout hitting contest he wants, I guess, and sure, just keep the pressure a little better to keep the spare on the 8 and hit with the spare from the 6, since you keep spares on both points. But here we go. 6 from the bar. As I mentioned, they're not good. I like this coming out to the 8 to distract from building points on the board in front of you. He'd prefer not to really waste his roll doing much of that at all, I think. Okay, he gets to cover and hit from the back from the anchor. That's pretty strong. And Aykut is turning this game around. 5-2 is a great shot. That's going to hit an anchor, I assume, but it could have hit in the outfield a second time. But with a racing lead, and now you're outboarded 2, this feels okay. They're really close. Interesting. It just feels loose, but I guess you did give away the cube. You're trailing in the match. Gammons are kind of nice. There's some merit to it. It's just, for me, I find this to be a very difficult game to follow up on. You have so many priorities to weigh now and figure out, like, well, what do I do with my 4 blots, and how do I keep the tempo? The 6 must hit. You're gonna have to clean it up with a, yeah. I mean, this makes sense to remake the mid. I think I like this play. Usually we're gonna get hit after it, unfortunately. Okay, 1-6, not so much. That is gonna 22 to, what a terrible roll. Man, Aykut's position has really degraded quite a bit. Tim's in great shape to make a nice 4 prime now, and I think the 5's just got to come from the back again. Just stripped everywhere else, trying to consolidate this nice racing and positional lead now. But finally having made that 5 point is a huge gain. Can't do anything with that stack on the 24, unfortunately, but hitting's pretty good. Second best there. Yeah, this 4 is really tricky. I guess 13 to 9 for lack of other options. Again, you're not getting primed in the outfield still the case in this game. 2-6. I think I like hitting on the deuce to prevent him from making the 5 points, other kind of constructive things, and we don't want to give up the midpoint. It's weird to attack that deep, but I think it's just got some strange tactical thing to do here. I understand the purity of this play. They're close, reasonable, and again, outfield is kind of in interesting shape in this game. But okay, 6-4. Still can't do anything with the checkers that are back. So next best thing is to attack. Hope to buy time. Don't want to be stuck behind a 5 prime for sure. 2s is going to fan. Okay. So Aykut still has work to do for sure here, but he's creeping up on something. 5-2. I think we have to 24 to 22. It feels mandatory. And look at this. Just because you can get it over the prime, you actually play from the 23. And he's going to find this too. Okay. Good play. I would probably just start with 24 to 22 and not even realize that was an option. Good for him for finding that. Sequencing error on my part. 5-3, I think is just going to hit from the bar. Yeah. And man, any 4-3, 3-2 kind of stuff would be so nice right now. Really needs an advanced anchor to do something with those back checkers. A fan is a disaster. 4 blocks in the outfield now with 4 back already. I wonder if he could be a favorite to win a backgammon yet. I think we do the variant that hits 2 checkers, but we could just hit 1 and go for distribution. Yeah, that's good. Reasonable as well. Oh, wow. That's like sizably off. Okay. I understand the logic of it, I think, but now a little more pressure to do something. Pointing on the 4 is obviously very nice here. Ideal. I think he rolled the roll that does it. 2-1. Yeah, great. And yeah, there's nothing here for Aykut now. Even making the second anchor, just there's not going to be timing for it. Your forward structure is so impure. So this is a pretty desperate situation. See, is a favorite to lose a gammon. That doesn't happen too often. What is this? Is this 3-6? If so, does it? Yeah, I think hitting on the deuce again. Oh, 1-6, 1-6. Okay, he's just gonna play the normal play, but I mean, taking a tempo away is very nice. Avoiding having your opponent possibly make that point and buying yourself time to pick up all of those blots in the outfield seemed kind of like a nice reason to hit on the deuce again. But now, as I mentioned, Aykut has the two anchors, which feels like hope usually, but in this case, I don't think it's gonna. There's no timing for it, and the structure is so impure that it's gonna be tough to make it work for him. I don't know how he's gonna pull it off. Yeah, 4. Tim just wants to get that back checker moving. Why not slot the back 2? Sure, seems fine. Oh, someone's saying they hear Simon. No, yeah, Simon was on for a little bit. I'm back. This is Nick. Other people see the back game coming. Okay. Catching up on chat. I got behind somehow. Close enough. Yeah, okay, the 2 I do really like stepping up, and he goes for the hit instead. Okay. Sees that he doesn't have a 5 he likes with it. Yeah. Well, this is how it starts. 5-3 is going to cover that point. Very nice. Just a lot of 1s and 2s and then 6s. Got to be in order, though. And then Aykut will be in the driver's seat. I'm sure crazier has happened. Okay, the deuce is stepping up. Where's the 5? I think, yeah, why do we want another blot hit if we can avoid it? Play into the deuce isn't really much better than the ace, so... Or sorry, other way around. I meant playing to the ace didn't feel like it size. Okay, but 4-play really does like playing to the ace instead by quite a bit. That's strange. I would probably try to keep a blot out of play. I wouldn't think that I want another sent back necessarily, but could buy us time. All right. And now Tim has to decide if he wants to mess with timing by leaving a blot on the front or just make the 3-point. But he just has no timing anyway, and I think it's better to close that off and not let your opponent potentially make a further advanced anchor. That would be a huge improvement to Aykut's game to make the 22 as opposed to the 23 and 24. 6-5, yeah. I think I'm just playing it all from the back. And Aykut would just love to stay on the bar for a few more rolls. Comes in, real problem now. Interesting. Finds this 5-1 play. Probably just play 6-2, but sometimes these like tactical how to destroy your board in poor shape plays can be confusing to me. 5-2, yeah, sure. Why not bring a nice distribution checker in? Okay, you must have some avoiding leaving shots or something like this. Keep the prime longer. 6s and 5s are not 5s. 6s are killed. So he wants to give Aykut time to crash. Okay. Yeah, you can get in trouble placing him so deep on the prime, though. 4 is going to kill a second checker. Okay. 5-2 should just clear from the rear, I think. I don't think he wants to. Timing situation is fine. Sometimes you think about leaving it out there. So if you're hit on the 6, maybe you can catch that checker later. Make sure that you don't end up allowing your opponent to find timing. I don't think this is one of those positions, though. I think the timing situation's okay already. That maybe it buys him time to just run off the 23 and try to save gammons. I don't think you really gain on being hit on the back in this position. 5. Oh, was it 5-5? I thought it was 5-4. Okay. What do we got? Clear safely from behind. Okay. Oh, 1-1. Okay. Keep seeing different rolls. 3-1. Pre-clear the back. 6-5. Sooner we can get rid of that point, the better. It's all Tim's just trying to close those out. I think he's going to win a decent amount of gammons here, but oh, not anymore. That's going to save a lot of them. Oh, still a third of the time. Okay. It's very difficult to win this game, though, for Aykut, so just rolling big numbers to get out the gammon is kind of nice here. Pretty unlikely for Tim to fill in that 2.2. So Aykut should still get a ton of contact with that extra gap. Very likely to leave more shots on the way. Okay, finally remakes a point two, has a 4-point board to contest if he does get his shot. 4-1. Yeah. I think we're not leaving a shot, so I guess just 5-4 to not leave an inner gap, clear from the rear. Big doubles help out quite a bit. 5-4 and then pray for sixes. I guess you're always scared to do that against these ace point games because you create a 6-5 that's going to double blot. But usually it's right to do anyway. I don't think it's right to put an extra spare on the front point to try to avoid that because it's going to create a long-term liability. All right, Aykut takes 2 crossovers, 13-16, fine 2, doing plenty of gammon saving work. What is this? Is this double fours? Oh, I think we have to shift, but it's always tempting to think about just ripping 4. That solves a lot of problems and brings a lot of gammons back into this game. It's a great shot for Tim. For 2, just slots, okay. 6-4, oh, and he found a double shot number. And Aykut's just in time to maybe be able to cover that 6-point if he should get so lucky as to hit it. Does not. And now, yeah, he's just got to run from the back and try to be really stubborn about those gammon saving pips. Only 4-3 is going to point on him without leaving a shot. So I don't think there's as much value to the 4-2 might still point on him. No, 2, and then we can take the 4 off. Okay, there's a safe way. Yeah, 5-3, 4 off. All right, Aykut's board is ready. As ready as it's going to be to hit a shot to save a gammon. So unless we have sets, I think he's staying. Oh, interesting. He's going to go to save the backgammon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is like the common in the game until the end reference position. In case he rolls the set. And even more so because it's so hard to win with a poor structural board like that. So best you can do is just save the backgammon in this position. Yeah, people asking where the PRs came from. I actually just talked to Dirk after. I guess his streamed match, he actually won the PR contest. There was like a full 1 PR point swing on plus analysis. So always take those overall PRs with a grain of salt on these streams. Always subject to higher analysis levels, of course. But yeah, it did seem that XG didn't like all his checker plays in some of that. And I mean, that especially happens in back games, right? Has some strong preferences, might change its mind at other analysis levels. You never know. But okay, wins a gammon and is 3 away to 6 away now. Has work to do to recover the PR point, but looking good for the match point for sure. 5-1, gonna split. It's the standard play, especially leading. 5-4 looks like a split in response too. Always tempting to hit on the deuce there though. 3-3, if he has better building, you do it. Ooh, this is just a pure blitz play. Okay, and this is the kind of start where Tim's likely to never get a cube in. Just be too good all of a sudden, I guess. I don't know. Maybe if he anchors now, I'm crazy. Maybe not. Maybe this is the kind of game where he gets cubes, where he has enough wins and gammons that he can just cash. I don't like any 6, as I could. The 2 tempo, you're not really stopping him from doing anything, so I probably wouldn't find that there, but it's close. It might even be right on higher analysis. Coming out to the bar, of course, is just very scary. I like this around and probably 1 down for distribution. Oh, but actually you're supposed to come into the 5 and not leave the fly shots, I guess. Even though he has a blotting board. Strange. I like his play. 2-6. I think we still have to go for the hit. Even though we have that blotting board. It's not pleasant, but trailing, you can get away with this stuff for sure. When it looks like it'd be a hefty cube incoming at regular score. But this one, he's just kind of got to play it. 3-6. Sure. Keep the pressure on that blot by staying on the 24. No other sixes from the front that you particularly want to play. You're still winning the race, so it's nice to just come around if you can get away with that somehow. You might even distract him from... No, because he has a blot and board, I don't think he's going to find the outfield hit. I think he'll just make the 5. It's always tricky to understand which concept's most important in some of those spots, though. Uh, 5-1. This came around. He's deciding if he wants to hit, which blot he wants to hit. Yeah, so he's going to leave the deep checker on the deuce and take away his timing and freedom instead. And that's an interesting decision. I like it. And Tim is well ahead in this one. Okay, and he's going to skip a double pass, which at this score, I do not blame at all. It's much easier to assume that you're never going to be in your market and you're just going to pass straight to too good. So I don't fault holding the cube there for sure. This ace point, this is like a deep enough where you can really think about it though. Okay, and he's just going to stick with that. But that's one where I can find him sometimes, where your gammons have gone down so much once he makes the ace point, but he rarely wins that game. So it's just pretty low volatility, relatively resolved, and reasonable to cash that even at the score. I didn't see if it was a cash for sure, but nice shot from the bar. And so when this works, now he could very well be too good. Anchors and sure, continue the attack. Look at this. Supposed to double what he has a take. Those are, and so the policy of not queuing in these games has actually cost him a little bit, because that's a very difficult decision for the trailer. Even I think it's not clear that he would snap that cube up and understand at the score that he wins enough to take it. So you might miss out on an opportunity to create a big mistake there too. I'm guessing we're not really in cube territory anymore. The double hits just punish the wrong way. They create gammons again. Yeah. So he hits twice, great shot, and now he's almost certainly going to be too good there. Again, a kind of unlucky run with these cubes here. It's very reasonable approach to just never touch it at 3 away. But he's running into a sequence of small cubes that he's missing, losing equity as a result, or PR. 2 in and 6 prime, 4 behind it. This is too good forever now. I think just 10-5 sign, yeah. I don't know why you want another checker behind that prime now. I'm not sure it's going to help anymore. 5-2. I think Tim would like the opportunity to hit on the deuce and make sure that his opponent doesn't make 2 anchors or advances anchor. It's very nice. But I don't think this is like a pure back game. I'm not okay. So he's just going to play down, keep it pure, and if he gets hit, it's not too bad. I think he'd kind of prefer to not be hit because he needs that little bit of timing. So now when he is hit, if Tim chooses to, and he doesn't, okay, passes up the tip, hit to avoid timing him. Doesn't want to fall for that trap. But the thing about this is that, like, being able to spend the pips from the midpoint is good, and sending that behind the prime, you can't escape it to regain those pips anyway. So it kind of hurts your timing to be hit there. Even though it's gaining pips, they're not in the right place. Not all pips are equal that way. All right, and we'll see how. I imagine that his instinct is gonna be to try to slow this down too and let Aykut crash some more again, kind of like last time he was in a back game here. And yeah, good point on the. Look at this, and he's gonna go for the trap again, even though. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but you can potentially get in trouble for this. It's with the 6 in covers, eventually, even on separate rolls. Yeah, interesting. I guess I'd just make the better point, but maybe he doesn't want to blot and board in case he gets a chance to hit soon. I don't think it's so bad if you have that though. Double 2s, okay, very nice roll. 3-2. Yeah, we're burying into the ace. Starting to clear from the rear. Okay, sure, this seems fine. 4-4. Ouch. It's an ugly one. 3 dead checkers again for Aykut. These are some frustrating games to play when you're just constantly 4 checkers behind, kind of closed out, trying to save a gammon. Doesn't feel good. Crashing your board. Is that double sixes? Ooh, what a shot. Well, a BG wins the match. So Aykut's got to be pretty careful about that. Just some tough considerations to have to be dealing with. So I don't think he needs to stay back for the double shot in case something gets exposed out, but he's going to be forced to stay just where he is. Would have preferred to come off the 23, I'm pretty sure. 5-1 is going to leave a shot. Okay. Yeah, how about not the pure double shot? There's still shot plus 6-1, 5-1, 1-1. And 2-4 is one of the hits. Tough to win from here, but you can save some gammon scrambling around now. And what's the best way to do that is to come off your anchor. I would have kept that longer, I think. My opponent enters. I just kind of, yep. One hits. And this will be interesting to see if Tim might find a cube somewhere in this game now. I mean, he's still too good. But I don't think there's a way that he can arrive at a proper cube, really. I think it's just going to be worth continuing to play until all of a sudden one moment he's just not winning anymore. 6-5, yeah. 18-7 is my instinct. I'm just playing from the front and trying to keep maximum contact in the back. It's unfortunate. It's not where you want it exactly. And he finds, okay, this is a reasonable play too, to just play to the 12. I think this probably loses more gammons and such, is one of the issues with it. Hey, I got Seb here. How you doing, man? You want to talk about some backgammon for a while? We only got the one.
We got an 8 cube first game, so I'm here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Wow, this is strange. Hello, internet world. I'm honoured to be here with your man, Nicky B. Blazer. What's going on? 4-1.
Yeah, Tim's been playing on. Had 4 checkers behind his 6 prime and got hit in the bear off. Now he's apparently come around and playing for the gammons more.
Oh, yeah.
2-1. How do you make a point here?
Yeah, this looks good, right? And then he just comes in with 5 and 6 and you win more gammons as well. Ooh. Yeah. Not really. But it's something. It's scrambling. But he has a chance to make a bad decision here, which is unfortunate. Because he could think, like, his position's improved enough. But even if he leaves a shot, gets hit, he's got so many men off, hasn't he? That it's still going to be winning. He's still going to be a big favourite anyway. So we might see that. Yeah, we might see an ace, and then we might see just like a double pass. Oh, it's still slightly too good, it says. Wow. 5-1? 5-1? Oh, it's... Wow, okay. I guess even after 5-1, you're still okay. Well, you can't make a mistake now, so it's a good spot to be in. Do you not have a mic for yourself?
What?
Do you have another mic?
Well, we have this, but it doesn't go through this whole thing.
Okay, but they
just sit really close.
Well, they want your, sultry southern voice is beautiful coming through the waves.
They need a break sometimes.
Do you? I just like come keep you company. It's so lonely in here. It's so quiet in there. Everyone's playing. It's very serious. It's really serious.
It's like loud.
Yeah. Okay. So now he's got a cash. You could probably cash now.
He's still not big of a favorite, huh?
For sure. Oh, he's got the takedown, but he's still 75%, right? He's still
No,
10 men off.
This plus is like wildly different. Okay.
Yeah, it's a cash. That's what I said. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's
But he didn't cube. That's strange, because that's a big moment where if he enters, it's like Jin, you know. Okay, so that was kind of, but that's bad because now he's not going to cube this time, and this. That's difficult.
Those are tricky ones. It's hard to evaluate this like gap on the deuce and the ace and stuff. But I mean, he's been playing really conservative with the cube at this score the entire time.
Fair enough. But I mean, when all the gammons are removed and it's just like a race, there's not much difference to money players there.
Yeah.
And you've got 10 men off already, so you're like a lot of rolls ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to double now, you know. Oh no, did he roll a double? Sorry, I missed that. He's definitely not going to double now.
Maybe lose.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So he's got like 3 roll 3. Okay, so he's kind of slightly. He's going to get cubed.
No, he's not going to get cubed though.
Well, he should definitely have got cubed there because he's favourite to be off in 3 rolls.
Yeah, he's never getting re-cubed.
Right, that's very good. The dead cube. Yeah. Now he can't, obviously, because he didn't miss with a 1 or a 2. But if he had rolled a 1 or a 2 on the previous roll, then you could see. And now we got a perfect cube. It's like the most beautiful position. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Boom. That's how you do it. You just lull them in. You just reel them in. You put out the line. You get your 2 points. You get to Cindy. Crawford's on her way. Everybody's happy, right? That's it. That's how it's done. Wow. It's kind of small. It's difficult for you to see the dice, huh? You need like a big projector in here.
It's kind of rough too. I mean, they got all those lights up and stuff.
Oh, cool. You've got like the little stream going on the phone.
Yeah, I always keep an eye on the chat, man. You can talk to people if you want.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Beautiful. Perfect backgammon weather outside, so.
We're asking for back-game lessons.
Hello, Christian. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry you have to put up with me momentarily. I only came in here to listen to Nick, but then he just put me on the spot here. So, all right, let's try and focus on the game a little bit. Oh, so they won't be too happy with the current PRs, but now there's no cube involved, should be pretty simple. So the gammon is worth something for the trailer, obviously, saves him a game, which is important, not just like a DMP style that you would have at an odd away post or Crawford score, sorry. So that's definitely going to be a consideration for green here. Is it Aykut? That's what you've been saying. That's how you've been pronouncing it. Okay. Right. Sometimes I read these names and then they're like, "Oh, my name is." I'm like, "Okay."
The Turkish guys that I don't know have been playing really well so far in all the matches I've watched. I think the other one finished at a 3.3. This guy's playing.
Okay. Yeah, I saw everyone was crushing it on the stream. All right, so he's in really good shape here for the win, and obviously got some gammons. So Tim looking to come in and hit, obviously.
This might be the first time in the match that he's been in good shape.
Yeah.
It's been a tough one.
Okay. Sometimes it just goes like that.
And when he cashed the first game.
Well, I actually managed to. That was my first match I won, and it was an 8 cube, and it was ridiculous. So if we made any mistakes, it's going to be bad. And I really felt dodgy. I had to play 3 checkers to the ace like early on, which is something I never do.
Except for when you do it.
I'd almost happily make a mistake then, so it's not my style. I refuse. It does not belong on the ace point, but it was kind of forced. Okay, so this is a nice play. A few options there. Wow, they're all super close. It's quite expansive. It's going to lose more gammons, obviously having 4 blocks, but he's going for the advanced anchor. But he's way down in the race. So now he really wants a 1. A 1 would be optimal. Like 1-6 or something. Consolidate. Get the anchor.
3-5 instead, good enough.
Okay, yeah. Happy he's got the guaranteed contact now. Not so easy to bring this home. Clearing the 16 point can be difficult. That's lovely. Just clear the mid. That's kind of 2 things you have to do, really. Clear those 2 points. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. You see 13-6 was up there. So it's like you can't really hit from the strip midpoint. More gammons with the stronger board. That's coming into it. So let's see what he's going to do here with 3s and 5s. Okay, this should just be... Oh, there you go. There's a hitter because of the blotting board. 3s are duplicated.
Things are pretty close, like all your...
Yeah, look, it's not a DM. it's not the DMP play, but because of the extra gammons, you're getting the extra value. Small difference in winning chances. Oh, that's not the right idea.
Only 05 though.
Yeah, but that's unnecessary.
That
But
was your thought before the play, before the dice came out, right?
yeah, that's true. I mean, that's how you're going home. But he leaves double shot in the outfield. I mean, it's a natural play. I mean, you can't blame him. He's coming round. He's probably playing it like DMP, not putting too much weight on the gammons. Oh, there we go. But that's kind of forced because you can't let him make the second anchor, and it's just going to be easier to win that way. And look at all the other blots. This is when you're happy that the BG doesn't really mean anything because you're like, they hoover them all up. Oh, Mickey Larson in the chat. Hey, buddy. It's been a while. No, I had a horrible first match. I'm just here to see Istanbul in the town with Nick and, eat some good food. Maybe a belly dancer. Who knows? Okay. Well, Simon said he found some places to go. No, but we'll hit the bazaar for sure. Alrighty. It's tough in here. So Tim really wants to just try and contain this last back checker, make some structure in front, but ideally jump some checkers out into the outfield. Hit with a 7 here would be a big swing. There you go. He calls it. Is that a 7? Does that hit? Am I seeing it wrong? It's like when they don't do it instantly, I'm like, what was he thinking about? Is he thinking about making the 4 point? Yeah, this is great. Now he's got 2 checkers to contain all the outfield. Probably like.
There's a lot of numbers that hit though at risk of gammon, so I can see why he pauses.
Yeah, but that's such a big gain. This is how you win, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now he has to just jump out. Doesn't want to kill a checker. Yeah, he's got the stronger board. This kind of forces him to hit where he doesn't really want to. Sure. When he wants to be making structure. Is that double 2? 14. Okay. Ooh, so now if he didn't want to hit before, he's going to be thinking of playing safe here, but hitting is still best. This is more difficult because 5s and 6s are blocked from the bar and they both hit from the back checker. So now you're giving like a bunch of numbers. Yeah. Whereas before it wasn't that many. So this is tough, and that's why they're close, obviously. Yeah. Hitting again is winning like 7-8% more games.
And you have to leave it direct anyway. There's no way to clean everything up.
No, you can just do. Oh yeah, you're right. You have to leave a 4 anyway. Is he thinking of? Yeah. Well, if you do that, you can't. There's no other 2, so. But why would you do that if you could hit outside? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And you only have a 3 to cover. It's not. Oh, I guess you have a 6 to cover, but then 6 is duplicated, and 5s and 6s to come out. Oh, tricky considerations. Yeah, a lot of pressure on the players here, especially like being on the stream. It's very tense. It can be very difficult. So credit to everybody taking part. Okay, good, solid play. The only reason that too many gammons.
4's going to want to escape too, I just noticed. So.
Yeah, good spot. So he gets hit. No, it's blocked. Cheeky block. So swing it around, and then he's just got 1 man back. Yeah. So now you kind of just.
Interesting. I don't know why I would find 8 to 5. I think just to the 8 seems very close. I guess this could be awkward. There must be some sort of.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Okay, delighted with that. It's got a great chance of containing this. Well, much better chance of containing this guy now. This. Ooh, if he makes the 4 point, it'll be favourite, and if he jumps another checker out, that's going to make the 8 probably.
Looks like it.
Oh, I like it when I say it before it comes up. You know, I've noticed you pause a little bit sometimes, and you go, "Hello," and then it comes up. You know, I'd take that. It's fine. Happily wrong in any situation. We're all just here to learn and get better and enjoy the experience. Wow, look at this. Now he's like big favourite. And it's going to be really tough. Like 1-4 is the bogey and 2-4. Yeah. Bit of flex. Wow, 2-5. Great shout. Yeah, for sure. Gets missed here. He's almost home, but not so many numbers miss.
Still leading the race by quite a bit too.
Yeah. But race means nothing when you're behind a 6 prime. All right, he needs. Ooh, that's painful because now the gammon's back on, and the 4's play needs to come in. Really want to enter here. This is when you're like, but I'm favourite to enter. How did I not come in? It's like outrageous. Yeah, we've all done a lot of dancing today. Got my shoes on. Okay, duplicate the 1, that's good. Although it did say you could just, come in. Oh, I don't think I would have found that play. Oh, because it was duping 1s and 4s on the 18 point. So he gets more hitters to pick up the second checker and some numbers maybe to point on the ace and attack and stuff. But that's tricky.
This is with the 5-4 now.
So
3. It wants you to do something with those checkers on the 8 really bad. That's bizarre. How'd you do so far, Seb? You seen it?
I haven't seen any. I didn't want to look at them.
You don't know your PR.
No. I'm avoiding. I'm just here rolling back. Nice to be playing live for first time in a few years. Cool to see everybody.
Yeah.
Also missing some familiar faces.
Yeah.
All right, so it's pretty simple. He's just gonna clear the points. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just face. Yeah. A few options there. That's fine. I mean, that's he doesn't want the gap really, but still good to clear it.
Have to pay attention, so I'm not, I guess.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just here. Yeah, there we go. So now he's forced to clear it. A bit awkward. Some shot leaving numbers. So Tim will be happy because he's not going to get gammoned and he's still got some chances. So either way, he's going to be post Crawford with a nice lead and maybe wins the match here. And again, no difficult cube decisions to come.
So nice pips that like some freak gammons happen.
Yeah, there are some gammons. It's true. 10% happens all the time. I was going for that like 60% of the time. It works every time, you know. Okay, maybe that's an Anchorman reference.
Yeah, we could have taken the 5 off. Did we do that? Why not? I think you like missed a little distribution there.
Okay, yeah, good spot. So just 6-2. Otherwise, everything's okay. I would actually feel bad if it came 6-2. It's like the commentator's curse. You guys never seem to feel bad when you're. You love it. You're just calling them in. You're like, oh.
It's fun finding real disasters.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so he's cleared. So it's going to be 6 bad numbers: 6, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1. But now, obviously, not many gammons at all. And he's just going to be running from the back, using every available pip to save the gammon. All right, let's see if he gets a shot. If he does, oh, he does, and he should. Yeah, well, that's nice, isn't it? You get to leave minimum shots and not leave any other blots. So here's a 4. Doesn't guarantee the win, but it's going to help.
Yeah, I think you went for like a few more gammons too, right?
That's true. If he dances, he dances. That's not great, but still not that many gammons. Oh, double was another shot. He definitely doesn't want this.
There's way more gammons
now. That's true. That is true. But you happy about it? Oh, if you didn't put the checker on the bar, that would be a bit of a blunder. That one.
I think these are the kind of things that happen. Try for the commentary on the stream.
That's true. Yeah, because we'd like to count them if they stack the checkers. Sometimes it's difficult to see how many are left. Okay, so this is like he's back on containment duty. But he can't do what he wants to do against the 2-point board, which would be slot the 2-point slot and just to instantly make the board because he's going to be losing more gammons. But now you're going to see him hit, I think, or make the 2-point.
Sure.
What is it? 6? You got a nasty glare on this.
6-1. Oh, what a whiff.
Oof.
4-3 seems like mandatory.
Yeah, 4-3 looks good.
But then the 6 is forced. No, it's not forced.
Not forced, yeah, because you feel like you want to be flexible in the outfield.
We give up 6-5 is the only thing we up. If not, then 6-1, 2, 3. Well, don't make the direct shot. You know.
Yeah. Nice play. He found it. You're basically playing for the times that he doesn't escape, and this is the best position for that. Yeah. Oh, and the 6-4. Yeah, because you don't want to get hit. Yeah, it's true. Very nice. So he needs a 4. Does he get it? Double 2, I guess, if it's a 2 or 4-2.
Yeah,
4-2. Okay. So yeah, leave it slotted. Nice extra builder. Yeah, you need that. Just 4 numbers. So he has a really good chance now. 5-1. Okay. So now he's going to point on the ace with most of the numbers. Oh, that actually makes the 2 and then hits loose. Yeah. nice, pure, no gap. So the Sydney, the 1-6, that's it really. Well, any ace could be a little bit troublesome. Oh, the double one. Okay. So there's only aces and fives that don't hit back.
6-1.
Yeah.
6-3 hits. Okay.
He's in great shape.
Wait, was it 6-3? I would have thought about hitting the other way. Interesting.
Oh yeah, not leaving the double. Yeah, you're probably right. You don't want to leave the 1-6 double hit. Not necessary.
So we got it again. Okay.
Yeah. He's most of the time he's going to close the board. It'd be kind of difficult. But even once he's closed the board, he's going to have to barrel very aggressively.
That's 7 off. So it's like a little. I think he's already 60% closing.
Yeah, but again, he's going to. As opposed to like being scared that you're going to get hit, you're going to bear off as if you were like gammon go almost against the 2-point board, because you're scared of opening the 6-point early and that he comes in, you lose the race. So you really want to put a checker on the 6-point, so you keep the board closed as long as possible, and take as many checkers off as possible. I think that's our last Trabant rule. Very sound. Both those things are good. Well, let's see. He didn't manage to get a spare on the 6, so he's in danger of opening, but you're right, he's still favourite. Okay, that's kind of a nice roll, 1 man off. So he really doesn't want to see a 6 here. Okay, he's just moving the dice to what he wants. I think that's he's playing his Joker card. That's where you get to decide your roll. It's a new feature here this year. Okay, so he really wants a 5. Ooh, okay, so you might have to. This one? Yep, has to. Good play. So 13 numbers and he's a dog. Wow, what a game, just back and forth. So he's coming back in, he's like holding on. Everybody loves the Crawford game. You want to, stretch it out. You want it to last as long as possible, really. Okay, he's back needing a 3. He's hit almost every time he's had to hit, so I imagine we're going to see it. 5-2, fair enough. So it looks like you guys are going post.
Save the gammon. That's good.
Yeah, he saved the gammon. That's all he would have taken that before at certain moments in this game. So yeah, I think it's almost. Computer's like -1. You have 0%. You're like, come on. Sometimes it says 0 and it's not true. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, pleasure to be with you shortly. I'm going to leave you with the lovely Nick Blazier in very capable hands, but I'll be sure to come back and.
Well done, sir.
No, I'd love to do some more with you. If I'm not playing, I'll come keep you company.
If you can Google how to get 2 headsets to show up on Zoom.
Oh, I've never even got one headset to work. This is it's a miracle we got this far. But yeah. All right, take it easy, everybody.
There's some for you, warming up the earphones for me. He's good, man. What do we got? This is okay. He just automatically sends. Okay. They don't like the trick in Turkey, I've discovered. That's what I've noticed. I guess it makes sure that you don't leak any equity yourself, but Oh, the pip count moved. Yeah, on the Crawford game, it kind of messes up the graphics. Not a lot we can do about that when it comes back eventually. Ooh, what do we have? Yeah, just around the bend is the best we can do with that 5-4. Okay. I think it's still basically an even race. Okay. 2 down, or he might have liked to run out. Both with a single checker back. Looking to consolidate that advantage, making the bars nice. It's a lot of fly shots, though, so you always kind of pause and think about it here. I guess you could, your safe play must be 11-5, 9-8, but it feels a little stiff. This feels strange. This is like way more shots and you don't get the bar point. So I'm not sure why we would prefer this. But yeah, just oftentimes when you leave that, you already have the two builders in the outfield and you leave the blot on the 8th. This just feels like a strange thing to do. But there's probably actually duplication here with point making numbers. But he's going to go for this play instead. Okay. Very interesting to me. Not sure what he's thinking about there. 2-1, going to make the bar point on head. Very nice shot. Interesting. I would think to enter high and play 11 and 9, but this must do more containment. Avoids being unstacked on from that heavy stack of 6 checkers. Well, often it does. Not this time. We're going to point on head with 5-4. Not as good of a point, at least, though. 1-5. It feels like the theme is still to enter deep. What 5 do we like here? Yeah, sure. I can imagine a tempo to avoid letting them make the 5 or 4 point, something like that on nice rolls. 4-3 would have been making a point. Doesn't anymore. Pretty bad roll now. I think you just come out to the bar, maybe? Looks like it duplicates a lot of numbers and distracts from doing other important things, but okay, 7-3 or 7-4, just moving the blot in or slotting point. Interesting. Not really sure why that's preferable. 4-2. This doesn't do what we wanted it to do. I don't see any good gammon. I guess I'm going to cover the ace, and I guess why not cover the 11 too? I mean, you could play 11 and 9, but once you have a blot on the ace, a lot of times, especially in this single checker back kind of game, you just want to cover it and turn it into an asset instead of a liability. We are at post Crawford. Oh, you haven't specifically. Okay. Wait, you can't listen into. Oh, can you see chat in the future if you're watching? I don't know how the world works. What do we have now? Okay, he's going to look at other options like hitting. This occurred to me since like he wants to win a gammon and these things. Okay, it's not so far off either, but it looks really loose. Tough to know what the deuce is with it, but I think Tim's got a position where he's tempted into some decisions like that. But yeah, just better off to cover the ace and have all that structure. It's like a priming game for one roll. It's likely to turn into a blitz. I mean, next roll, if he has the ace covered, it's nice to hit on the 4 like that. Just not right now. There we go. The results so far. Of course, on lower analysis, that can change a lot, but Tim getting better after kind of starting a little bit higher up on the PR and such. Okay. Mistake there, not a huge one, but understandable. Okay, he's going to hit and just pop out, hoping to dodge 4 or certain 3 combos. But Aykut hits and covers. Great shot. And winning a gammon here is very nice. So he's going to keep playing aggressively for that. 2-6. What does that do? Does that just pop out too? I don't think we can afford to make another blot. Oh, we can play 8-2. That's safer. Okay. Didn't even notice that. Just looks very structurally strange. I'd be inclined to make this play as well. 3-4. Must hit something. Oh, we can anchor as well. So maybe we just hit an anchor. He's not interested in the anchor. I kind of understand that at this score. You want to find something more aggressive, but I mean, there aren't really any good 4s or 3s along with it. So why not just lock up the asset and not get in long-term trouble? I imagine I'll find this, but you could play a 3 down with it. I guess that's the thing too, is I think your alternate 3 is still, or your alternate number is still going to be the 3. So I think you prefer hitting on the bar here to get some diversification of your blots there. What is this? This is 2-3. And 17-14. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. He's going to keep chipping away at trying to get those 2 checkers home. 4-1 is going to hit. Has to leave a shot anyway. Well, he could clean up really stiff, but yeah, let's go for a gammonish play. 3-6 safety's a blot. That's a pretty good shot. Nice entry. And Aykut is going to be looking to continue the attack and still secure some sort of gammon here. Misses. I don't think we can do any goofy switching plays, but we can't even cover the deuce really because the ace stinks unless we're going to split 22 to 21 or 21 to 20, which actually, that doesn't look so bad. We've got a 4-point board. Our opponent is going to have trouble attacking us. I guess this must be the best play that doesn't make a 4th point. But okay, Tim escapes to safety. That's a great shot for him. Would love to just consolidate a racing holding game like this. Five-two is going to make the next best point, and then we don't really want the 9, so sure, just bring that in as a builder. 5-1, put a spare on the 7, get one roll closer. 6-5 is going to clear the mid safely now. 3-2 makes the next point, plays into the 6. Okay, this is just going to roll home pretty simple now for the most part. Don't expect any. Ooh, a 3-1's very nice to close that 5 points. One more liability in the holding game solved. 5-1. Do we want to leave the ace shot? I think the race is close enough that I don't want to, and I prefer to make the ace like this. Yeah, not really breaking our board too bad yet. 7-3, 6-5, sure. Spread out the spares and fill in an empty slot. 4-2 is going to release the mid. We're just going to wait for the contact with the anchor or a big set to regain the racing lead. 5-2 is the first tricky one. It's not such a bad time to leave a fly shot and clear the mid, but we could also just play to the ace and cover like this, so we don't have to leave it now. Must be a close option. We don't want to give up the 8 yet, for sure. We need that as a landing spot, but this might be the best shot we get. The blot in the board is likely to improve to a 6-point board in the very near future. So this might be the easiest time we get to clear the midpoint. There's some incentive to do it. They run, okay. All of the plays run really close, including the ones that I've eliminated. Nice. Yeah, see, this is my least favorite because it leaves less landing shots. It allows them out on 4s. I don't know. I just feel like we actually do lose a little bit by clearing the 8, but you do need to eventually clear the 8 safely. And so you can just do that right now too. There must be some long-term gain there as well. Well, that's interesting. I didn't even notice that the 2 should come down with it, so he could have been hit with that 7. But okay, he does find a way to break the mid. What is this? 3 what? 4-3 is going to come in. Okay. Not a huge racing lead, but this is the kind of, as the leader, the kind of game you want to play. Even if you don't win it, you're not risking losing the extra 2 points to go to Crawford, so it kind of feels like free rolling in a way, you know. 6-2. Oh, this is awkward. Has to break the 7 first. I guess you could play from the 8 and 3-1, but this feels better. But it's going to create a couple more shot levers potentially. 4-3. I'm not sure you wanted to. There's a lot of numbers where if he points on the 4, they're pretty devastating. It's a bummer to get that right there. 4-3 again. He's just going to leave and play the race. Okay. Kind of makes sense. Sometimes you only lose by potentially being pointed on or picking passes and things like that. There is racing equity for sure. What's that? 3-2, I guess. Fill in the 4-point. Six one, took one off. Okay, yeah, I had to enter deep too. All right, Tim, a small favorite here. Well, decent size favorite, but I guess the games we've been seeing, nothing feels like a big enough favorite. Yeah, one more. The schedule says 9:30, but we've been running behind, of course. We'll try to get that one started on time-ish, though, so people don't have to stay up too late. Okay, 6s to get back in it. Might have another game on this one still. 6-4, that's a nice shot to keep Tim in the lead. Dealing with his high points, okay. Great shot from Aykut again. All right, I'm being reminded to hit the like button again. I always forget that. No misses for Tim yet, huh? Is it coming? What was that? 4-3? 5-4? 5-3? I don't know. I can't tell. Machine's choppy. Looks like I could miss something too. Okay. Oh, and that'll do it. Okay. And in the end, a pretty well played match. Tim's going to win the match points, and potentially I could with a PR point, but of course we have more to go to figure that out. But that's going to take us into dinner break, guys. So that's round 4 of today, and we'll have the final round of today's matchups. We started around late today. After dinner, everyone's going to go eat, and we'll come back and play at 9:30 IST is when we're planning. You can go see all the matchups on the Backgammon Galaxy Facebook page now. We don't have results there yet, but you can see all the pairings that are coming, who's highlighted for streaming, all those kinds of things. I finally got that shared over there. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for Seb for jumping in. Simon, everyone that's been on, kind of helping me do commentary and everything. Thanks for everyone watching too. We'll be back with more Backgammon soon. Later, everybody.